Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Mischa Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within.
I believe you asked me another question. What is the miracle in my life? What was a miracle in my life? I almost cut my hair off the other day. I was having massive insecurity coming out of the funnel hacking live and ways that I'd communicated my experience. I was like, oh my God, that was way too vulnerable. Cut your hair off. I don't know if you have any of those moments, but I survived, and obviously my hair is still in full effect. So that's not maybe that is a miracle, but that wasn't the miracle. When I was at Funnel Hacking Live, lots of it was 4 days, and I believe there was 5 or 6 speakers each day, and all very powerful speakers. And there was 5,000 people, 6,000 people at this sold-out conference, 2,000 to 3,000 in person, 2,000 to 3,000 live. I don't know the exact numbers, but lots of solid energy, lots of amazing heart-centered entrepreneurial messages being shared, lots of vulnerability. And then many of the speakers, would do they wouldn't call them meditation techniques, but they would lead some positive affirmations, or they wouldn't even call it that, but like meditation. So Tony Robbins was the last speaker, and that was Saturday night. And I'd never seen Tony Robbins live, and by the grace of God, I had, by this point in my life right now, set aside my contempt for the Tony Robbins that I'd never even really seen or known. But I was like, God damn, this dude's helped millions of people. It started hitting me a year or two ago. I was like, where is this weird, for successful people who do things that perhaps are in a place that I want to be, I can be, contemptuous or resentful or whatever. But so anyway, I'm like, oh shit, I can see Tony Robbins, live, and being part of the 2 Comma Club X, which is the coaching program within all this. We got priority seating. So I was right up in front, and he's leading this amazing meditation. And this whole thing is this whole event, 4 days, is very well crafted to break down barriers, to build energy, to help you go within, to help you, just internal barriers, external barriers, tons of inspiration. Everybody's an open book, or most people, super successful people there are milling about with you. So 1 minute you could literally be like, oh, there's Tony Robbins. Hey, Tony Robbins, how you doing? You go, hey, great. I'm just on my way walking to lunch. And you're like, oh shit. Well, nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. Or it's one guy, a couple guys, whatever. There's a pretty powerful experience. But Tony's meditation was Tony's thing that he led towards the end, and we are all frothy. Pumped up, man. Tony is really good at what he does, right? He's one of the best in the world, let's be real. And so he does this thing, this meditation and super out-of-body experience, right? It could have been 45 minutes or 5 minutes, I don't know. But part of it was pull out a recent moment that you're grateful for in your life. and then, all right, put that in your heart and la 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 and all this stuff to really internalize it. Great. And then, all right, now let's go find another amazing moment or great moment that you're grateful for in your life. Okay, now, put that into your heart and feel it and imagine that you're there and it's happening again right now. Right. And some other things around that, but those were the two most poignant things for me because with my boys, one was when Waylon graduated high school a few months ago. I don't know if you saw that picture on the social media where his arms were raised in victory as he had graduated from, thank you again for listening, Lisa Randall, from graduating, and he had just spontaneously erupted, and the crowd reacted to him, the audience of parents and kids, and it just was a very inspired moment. And I just was like, I saw at that time I'd heard a message from a lady that I'd interviewed on my podcast, Arlena Allen. You can check it out. Go to the Get Bitch Slap podcast, and she's like interview number 20 something, but Arlena Allen. And Arlena, you might not even need to do avocado toast after this because you're getting all the information. Arlena was like, hey, we were talking about how I'm all in on the fact of if you spot it, you got it, right? And I tend to look at that towards the negative. And she's like, well, what if you spot it, you got it on the good stuff, on the beauty or the good things you see in people? And like in that moment, the world like shifted and rotated before my eyes. Like, no shit. I was like, oh my God, like, wait a minute. That's amazing. And so I was really internalizing that idea, that thought. And then Waylon just freaking erupts spontaneously when the principal hands him the diploma in front of the crowd and just is, I was like, oh my God, like, how amazing is Waylon and his outgoing attitude and his shining light. And I was like, wait a minute, like, that's part of me, right? And not just because he's my son, because I spotted it, I got it, right? And so where was I? Sorry, shiny objects with dogs walking by. It was a powerful moment for me, and that was the moment of gratitude that I was thinking of with when Tony Robbins was asking us to think of those moments. One, I was just so happy and proud for Waylon and just saw him as a shining light out there and just was like, oh my God, he's such a, I was proud and just all that stuff, right? Like, massive gratitude moment for me. And so I'm hugging that close to my heart and feeling it and just loving it. And then the other one was Cooper just the other day, maybe a week or so ago. Waylon was buying a new iPhone. And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. I'll throw you $250, towards your iPhone purchase. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer Coops $250. I was like, hey, Coops. I texted him, hey, man, I was going to throw you $250. Is there anything that you need? Like, I'll give you a couple $100. And he's like, yeah, I have this outstanding doctor bill. It's like $300. He goes, I have this outstanding doctor bill. It's $300. And I was like, done. I'm transferring you $300 right now. Transferred it over, and he erupted in gratitude. This is all via text, right? He's like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And we got to have breakfast and la, 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 la. And was just super fired up. And this was a couple weeks ago. And been trying to be more generous with the Coops, with no strings attached, and trusting that, like, oftentimes with Cooper, for whatever reason, I can be more of like, I'm going to give this to you, but I need to know, here's the strings, here's the attachment. Where this was just spontaneous, here's some cash, go buy freaking Sour Patch Kids. I don't give a shit. Like, but he reacted so powerfully. And then we had a great breakfast, and it was just like this catalyst for me for some really cool moments. Just me trying to make some changes in my life and how I react to Cooper. And the payoff was awesome. So that was the thing that I was hugging into my heart when Tony Robbins was having us do this exercise, and everybody's frothing and we're all eyes are closed, and he's like, okay, and then visualizing amazing stuff moving forward and love and all this stuff, just all this visualizing. And he's so good at it because he's been doing it for 40 years that all of it, I was freaking glowing. So then it gets done and he goes, okay, pick 2 people. So three people together. Thank you for listening to this, but you asked, and I can talk. So thank you if you're making it this far. Again, you're probably on buy 3 speed and have purchased the Marco Polo Pro, so you can speed this up. But so 2 of the people that I had befriended and that were a part of my coaching group that I'm in, James Mays and Rick Hayhurst. Rick Hayhurst was on my summit, and James Mays owns a music school. And I'm not sure if you saw the movie School of Rock or if you've seen the School of Rock schools. Like, all that stuff was started based on him and what he's done and created. So James is super amazing. And sorry, I'm trying to cross the street. And why start a new bid when we can just drag this one out a little bit longer? So circle up with your team, your 3 people, and tell them, what I heard Tony say was, tell them the things you're grateful for. And so I got to go first. They go, you go first, Mischa. And I go, okay. And I started to talk, and I just started sobbing. Like crying, and was like trying. I was like, my boys and Cooper, and I'm sobbing, and just